So it's been a pretty productive day here in the comic book room. I've been doing a number of different activities over the course of today. I've been playing around with some new cleaning techniques, and so I have two books that I just finished cleaning off to my left that are about to go on the press. I have two in the press now that will be coming out in just a second, so a total of 4 books that have gone through like this modified cleaning approach. And so I'm very hopeful that the results will be pretty solid. And at some point, as I continue to do more books with this modified approach, I may be, talking with you guys about what it is that I'm doing. So I've been doing that today. I've also been doing some organizing and all that kind of stuff, just trying to constantly improve my setup here in the room to make it a little more efficient. But I decided to take a break from some of that stuff, and I wanted to step away from that to actually show you guys a couple of books that have shown up here at the house. So I have 2 bundles of books that I purchased online, and then I have one really awesome AOK. And because of everything that's happening in the world, I'm having to basically open up boxes in advance and wipe them down and all that kind of stuff. So you won't see a whole lot in the way of an unboxing, but you will hopefully see a couple of really cool books. Stay tuned for the video. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. As you heard in that intro, there won't be a whole lot in the way of the unboxing because of everything that is happening in the world, but I do have some really cool books that are sitting off to my side that I want to show you. One of them is an AOK, and I'm actually going to start with the AOK, and then in just a couple of moments I'll get to some books that I actually picked up as a result of a recommendation from one of you guys. So let's do the AOK first, and it says, this is a letter that's in the inside, has some blue painter's tape, I think put in there for effect. So it says, "Hey Reg, I'm JD from your YouTube channel. I'm sending this AOK to show you my gratitude. I started collecting comics last June and I've been hooked since. I discovered your channel late in the summer and I cannot get enough." Can you blame them? Being in college has halted my comic buying, but your vids give me enough. I don't know what that says. Enough to enjoy the hobby. Let's just do that. You taught me a lot about the hobby and I'd like to thank you. You're down to earth about the hobby. You give out enough knowledge for the novice collector and the vets. I hope you enjoyed this book. And I won't read this last part, but he and I have met the same person. I think he had an experience with this person most recently that he actually recalls. I met this person in the past and don't really remember it. I'm gonna just be completely honest. But this is an awesome AOK from JD. It's a yellow label slab, which is really cool. And so it is actually one of my favorite covers too. It is Amazing Spider-Man 352. And this gorgeous blue cover is signed by the man, Mark Bagley. He actually signed it on 10/13/19. I didn't know there's an appearance in here. Club Bow insert included. I don't even know what that is. I may have to look inside my books, but it's also a Nova appearance. For whatever reason, this Mark Bagley cover just has stuck with me over the years. I mean, I don't know if it's I think I know what it is. It's the gorgeous blue background and the fact of how Spider-Man is positioned and how he pops off of that blue background. And the same can be said with Nova, right? Nova has on blue, but the blue is contrasted against the background blue. It is just a really striking cover to me. And it's a gorgeous signature right there by Mark Bagley. And this is an awesome book. And JD, I am very appreciative of this. It is a really awesome AOK that you've sent me, my friend. And to the point that I was making, JD met him, had the book signed, clearly remembers having the book signed and meeting him. Here is my version. This is my version of that exact same book that Mark Bagley signed for me when I was in my teenage years. Now, what's interesting is that that is his signature right there. That tiny little thing right there is his Mark Bagley signature. It is signed in silver, same as with his signature now, but back then he used to sign the Mark part. So it used to be Mark Bagley, the full name, and now he just signs Bagley. That is it. He just takes a shortcut. He went through a little bit of a transition, and some of his things he would sign. His covers were always Bagley, but when he did the signature, and I actually have a lot of books signed by him. I think I have maybe 8 or 9 books that are actually signed by him. They're all basically all signed the same way. At one point in his career, he started going by bags. I remember I saw a lot of his Amazing Spider-Man books and others that would just be signed bags, and now I guess he's transitioned back to just the last name. So it's been a really cool evolution. And someone else actually got a signature from Mark Bagley for me, but also sent me a video of Mark Bagley that I may try to include in this video at the end. We'll see whether I can make magic happen.
G with 1G, big loser, where are you? You should have been here. That was so cool. And hopefully next time.
Definitely a really cool book. This book has literally been in my possession since the mid-90s. I haven't gotten it slabbed, partly because I use CGC a lot. And as you guys know, if CGC doesn't witness the signature, they give it a green label versus a yellow label. So for me, it's really cool that JD has sent this to me. I have a Mark Bagley signature on one of my favorite books by him, and it's also a yellow label from CGC. So that's pretty cool. And I absolutely appreciate it. So very cool. Very, very cool. All right. So this next stack is a couple of things that I picked up off of line. And I think I got these all off of eBay. And what happened is one of you made me aware of a book, of a title from Image. And I found it online. I read it online and I was honestly captivated by what I was reading. You know, I read issue number 1 and was honestly captivated by what I was reading. I thought it was really, really smart. I thought it was really well illustrated and well done. And after reading the first issue, I jumped online and I started to look to see what was out there. And I didn't pull the trigger right away because I was being cheap and, you know, just doing what I normally do. I didn't pull the trigger, but then I decided to read issue number 2 of the book. So I read issue number 2, and that's when I went back to eBay and decided that I was actually going to pull the trigger, and ended up picking up the entire 6-part story for Prodigy. And this is the number 1. This is the issue number 1 of Prodigy. And the guy, that has a massive spine tick right there. I need to look back at the photos to see what that looks like. So Prodigy is actually not a superhero. And I'm a big fan of superhero books. He is just, he's a professor. He's incredibly, incredibly smart. And what's really cool about him is that he has this ability to be focused on something, but then to subdivide his subconscious into different compartments, whereby each one of those compartments can handle a different task. And these are really complicated tasks that he is assigned to the different parts of his subconscious. So while he's engaging, for example, in recording this video and solving the problem of somebody that he's talking to, his subconscious might be solving another problem for someone else, or doing a mathematical equation, or whatever it is. I mean, it's really, really well done. And so for somebody that's not a superhero, he's pretty superhero because he also does a lot for humanity as well, a lot for charity and stuff like that. So that is issue number 1. His name is Edison. This is issue number 2. Really, really cool artwork. This is Mark Miller and Raphael Albuquerque. Albuquerque is the artist. Mark Miller is the writer. And this is actually part of the Miller World, which is the universe that Mark Millar has created. This is issue number 3. This one was a really cool underwater kind of sort of issue. That was real cool. This might be one of my favorite covers right here. This is issue number 4. Maybe one of my favorite. I dig this one. But again, just a really, really cool thing. And I believe that Miller Worlds was sold to Netflix. And I believe Netflix is eventually going to be developing some of Miller Worlds creative material into TV shows. And who knows how they will manifest themselves or which ones, but this is issue number 5 right there. But it's really cool that that this could potentially be one that gets introduced. This is issue number 6, and this is the final issue of Prodigy, Professor Edison. So a really, really cool story arc. I'm really appreciative of the subscriber that actually tagged me on Instagram. They tagged me on Instagram. That caught my attention. I went and read it and was hooked. And so really cool story arc right there. Again, it's only a 6-parter. I literally read the entire thing in one afternoon. I basically just sat down and in between, managing kids, was able to knock out all 6 issues. And really good read, definitely entertained from start to finish. Yeah, so I highly recommend it. If you guys get a chance to check out Prodigy, I don't think that you will be disappointed if you decide to pull the trigger and either read it or purchase it. And so reading it digitally may just be the better way for a lot of people. So this next bundle that I'm going to attempt to open is really well taped with not blue painter's tape. So we're going to try to open this as efficiently as possible so that we can reveal the goodness inside. And this stack is very reminiscent of the first one that we just looked at. I couldn't help myself. So this is really nice, and the reason I probably bought this was because the first issue number 1 over there had a massive spine tick, but issues 2 through 6 looked pretty good. So there you go. That is issue number 1 all over again. And these did come from my comic shop. Yep. So this is issue number 1. Again, really nice. These are really, really clean. Of Prodigy, again, Mark Millar and Raphael Albuquerque. And then this is issue number 1. So these are B covers. They labeled these incorrectly. Interesting. Here is the white cover. And there is actually some original art that is still available for this particular cover that is so tempting for me to pick up. And it basically looks exactly like this, minus the trade dress. It is online and it is really nice. But they labeled this one 1A, which I don't think that it is, because this one is labeled 1B, this one is labeled 1A. I think they inappropriately or incorrectly labeled these. I have a feeling that this one is A and that this one is B, but I may have to look that up. But really cool read if you guys get a chance to check it out. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. JD, if you are watching this, I want to say thank you very much for that awesome Mark Bagley CGC Signature Series book. Very, very cool. And again, shout out to my subscriber who is also on Instagram that put me on Prodigy. Fantastic read. I'm only like 2 years, year and a half late on this title because it actually came out in 2018, but better late than never, right? So I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, I definitely want to encourage you to hit the thumbs up, leave a comment behind so we can mix it up in the comment section. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do that, and the best way to get me, the best way is on Instagram, and you can check me out at Regie Collects. Take care.